Pops called out to each and every one of us that's present today and asked for us to come out, to come together for a common goal. For the last 25 years of my life, I've been incarcerated, I've been in prison. And as I stand before you today, I'm still incarcerated, I'm in a transition center. But I've dedicated my life to make a difference in my community and my family life. And what P.O.P.S. offers is the 6th step of peace. And my faith, I believe in a higher power, and I strive to be a Muslim. But my faith had nothing to do with me being present today, because all of them come from different walks of life. No matter what sect or what you claim, we're all human beings, like the brother said earlier. But we came here today for a purpose. And the purpose of us coming together was to make a difference in our community, because it's obvious that we are tired of what's going on in our community. And what P.O.P.S. offered in the 6th step of peace, one of our first steps is to structure a bond. To structure a bond with one another. See, because we don't have a bond with each other, if we don't trust in each other, then we can never come together and make a difference in our community. We can't change what's going on in our community if we don't trust each other. And our community will never change if we're not tired of what's going on in our community. If you're not tired of your community, you're not tired of the conditions that we're living under, then it will never change. You got to be tired, sick and tired of what's going on. And in order for the police to respect us as human beings, regardless of your race or your faith or your sect, they're not going to respect us if we don't respect ourselves.
Ain't nothing we can do. It's a lot we can do. It's a whole lot we can do. We just have to make the effort to do it. Or else it's going to keep going. We're going to become extinct like the dinosaurs after a while. If we don't stop this madness, we're going to be extinct. We're going to be gone. It's sad to turn on the news every day to see people dying every day in these streets. I ain't even gonna say for nothing, because ain't no reason. It ain't no something that's a reason for somebody to die. They breaking up our households by locking brothers up. They use different methods to divide us. To divide us. If you put 100 black brothers in a room, they're gonna divide up. The Crips gonna be over here, the Bloods gonna be over here, the dudes from Atlanta gonna be over there, the dudes from Augusta gonna be over here, the dudes from New York gonna be over there. They gonna be all over the place, divide and separate. The Mexicans, you can put 30 Mexicans in a room and they gonna look out for each other. I've seen this in the prison system, where 4 or 5 Mexicans will be in a dorm of 50 people, and they always look out for each other. They don't have to know each other. Let's look at the examples of Dr. Martin Luther King. When he marched for people, he didn't care who he didn't have to know them. They didn't have to be his cousin. They didn't have to be his brother. They didn't have to be related to him in no kind of way. He just had to know that it was some injustice.
Right here that I see. Because there's so many tragedies. I don't mean to be negative, but the truth got to be exposed. There's so many tragedies happening all over America, leaving black mothers in tears. And I say black mothers because I'm addressing the issue just as I see it. I never see anybody but us being the victims. Victims of intimidation, victims of violence, and slander. When they use the media against you to portray you to be something that you're not, to get the people against you so that they can do what they want. It's called propaganda. And that's what they use daily. Every time we cut on our news stations, I'm gonna share something personal with y'all. I have two brothers out there in Delaware right now, in Wilmington County Jail. One was, his human rights was totally disregarded. He was shot 5 times by an officer, unlawfully. Now, first they come and say that he shot first. Not true. They come back and switch the story when they find out that you have people. See, strength in unity, and they know that they're already unified. They're already unified. But it takes for us to come together as one like we're doing right now, for them to see. I don't see any victims right here. All I see is strength and pure power because we're together.
If there's anything that I could say or anything that I could do to stop some of the young people from ending up in the same situations that I've experienced in my life, which is I've been criminalized, I've been locked up, I've been to prison, I've been a victim of violence. How many people seen the movie Friday? I owed a $20 bag of weed to Big Worm. I had a pistol to protect myself from his homeboys that tried to come and collect $20 of weed after one day. And I said, don't quit sweating me, and then it escalated. And 2 weeks later, when I didn't have my dad's pistol, they caught me. Our communities, our hoods are only so big. Eventually, if you got beef, you're gonna run into somebody, eventually. And I got caught and got hit in the head 3 times with a baseball bat, had my skull cracked all the way around, was in the hospital. And I say that to say this, that for the past 30 years, 40 years, this country has been deindustrialized. They've sent corporations overseas. Some people aren't old enough to remember, the Iran-Contra and how this government, working with the Contras, helped bring dope in this country. And they infiltrate, they put it in all the communities, and now we got people in different sets and cliques fighting each other because we have to depend on an underground economy to survive because they don't have jobs here. So I say that to say this, that we have to stop this whole Jim Crow system that they got going on right now. From in the past 10 years, this state has defunded public education close to $8 billion. They're underfunding the schools, they're creating the school-to-prison pipeline, and they plan to continue to feed us into their prisons. They have there's close to 90 facilities in the state of Georgia.
Between the haves and the have-nots. In society, those who are the ones who are oppressing us, those who want to hold us back, those are the haves. They see us, and they look at us, and they threatened by us, we're the have-nots. Because they don't want us to come up and be where we need to be. And that's just the only point where we have to take that opportunity to take that stand. Malcolm X said, if a person doesn't stand for something, they will fall for anything. And that is what you have to look within yourself. And like one said earlier, you got to look and see, and you got to ask yourself, what am I? Am I going to be one who's involved, or am I going to be one who's not going to do anything? Am I going to be one who's going to act, or am I going to be one who just sit back, complain, talk about this, talk about that, and just say, you know what, we can't do nothing. When we can do something. We can do something. It's a matter of what we do to do it. And I will go ahead and say this, I want to put out 6 quick pointers. 6 quick pointers. And these are 6 things that you can look to do, and if you're not doing them, you can do them. And by doing them, you're taking an action in your community. Because if we don't do it, it's not going to get done. And let's just be perfectly honest. One of the things, before I go on those 6 quick points, gentleman just left, he said about the different prison population. Formerly, I was a state juvenile supervisor for the Department of Juvenile Justice. He already said it, and it's just wanted to just put it out there. Georgia has the highest prison population in the United States. I'm telling you what I know. You go online, you look under the Bureau of Statistics, you will see when it gives the stats, Georgia has the highest prison population and it has the highest black male population.
Hello.
Specifically. So again, it's a matter of the have-nots being oppressed by the haves.
Oh,
and it's a matter of looking within and taking that
547
opportunity to do some things.
West
First and foremost,
Place
and
now,
I'm just asking,
the park,
how many here are registered
West End
to vote?
Park.
Show of hands. Okay. How many voted in the last election?
Like this, where we marched to.
See my point? How many went on, and if I may, we got out there, and if let's say you went to get shoes or you went to get the Christmas toys for your kids, we all went to do those things. All I'm saying is they have the haves, what they do is they make those laws, and those laws to oppress us. And if we don't take a vote on those laws, and we don't take an opportunity to let them know we don't appreciate, then nothing happens. Governor Deal wants to go ahead and pass, like he said, cut the education funding. It will cause 11,000 education employees throughout the state to lose their benefits.
But I want to remind us what Malcolm told us. We got to control the politics and the economics of our community. And I want to invite you to go to Clayton County and look at what the black community did from 1988 to the present. When I got there in 1980, the NAACP branch was formed in 86. I got there in 88. We met with all of the men and women of faith, all the civic leaders. We used to have what we call breakfasts and lunch. And at these breakfasts and lunch, we had 2 or 3 items on the agenda. One of them had to do with voter empowerment, how we're going to register people to vote, and how we're going to educate the voters, and how we're going to identify the right leaders to run for office. And this is very important that we identify the right leaders. Because just because they're black don't mean they're right. We got some wrong leaders elected in Clayton County, and we got some good leaders elected. But I want you to go look in Clayton County. Look from 1988 to the present and see what the black community did. I happen to have been the president at the time of the branch, but it wasn't just me. One person can't do it all. We need to work together. So that's what we did. So we put the sheriff in, the chairman of the county commissioner is black now. Most of your legislative representatives are African American. You can do it, we can do it together. We can do it all across the state of Georgia. And another thing we have to do, what we did in Clayton County, was we asked for the EEO4 report of all the departments to see who was employed in the county and who was on the top position, who was on the bottom. Well, you know who was on the bottom position, don't you? Who was on the janitor level position, right? So what we did was we started setting up for lawsuits because we all pay taxes and we all should have them jobs. And here's what we did. We didn't ask to take no white people's job. We said that we're gonna do it through attrition. When a white person retired, to address the disparities, because there were disparities, and it was illegal. It's against the law. You can't take federal funds and public money and discriminate. But I guarantee you, if we left the metro Atlanta area and went down South Georgia or North Georgia, you would see gross disparity. Black people all over this state should be doing what you're doing right now. Organizing, standing up. And we don't, look, this is all legal. We can do this. Malcolm told us a long time ago. Malcolm X told us we should control the politics and the economics of our community.
Revolution with RevCon.us. Appreciate the opportunity to share a few words with people. I want to talk for a minute about this black on black violence. Because is it a problem? Yes, it's a problem. But what is the source of that problem? We can't be blaming the youth for what's going on. Let's give credit where credit is due. Who took the jobs out of the community? Who flooded the community with drugs? Who put the cops on the street and let them shoot down people in cold blood? Who put the courts in place that let those cops walk? Who started this country on the basis of slavery on a white supremacist system and has kept that going in one form or another since day one, from slavery to Jim Crow to the new Jim Crow? It's a system, this white supremacist system, that we gotta blame not only for for the police shooting down people, but we gotta blame them for black on black violence too. Because it's not the youth's fault. They didn't put in this condition. Who put these people, who put youth in these conditions that they find themselves in? But how do we get out of it? Well, in the revolution, we have a slogan. It says, fight the power and transform the people for revolution. Now, what does that mean? Well, you look at what happened in Katrina when the hurricane came through. Who was out there helping people right after that hurricane? It was people in the gangs who had been shooting each other the week before, coming together to save each other's lives and to help out the community. Look what happened in Ferguson after Mike Brown was shot. Who was out in the streets fighting together against the militarized police? It was youth who had been fighting each other the day before. We go back in history. Look at the LA rebellion that happened after the Rodney King beat up by the LA police. Who was out in the streets? You saw graffiti in Los Angeles that said Crips and Bloods united, that said Mexicans and blacks united, because people saw that there's a system, there's an oppressor in place, and we can't be shooting each other, we can't be fighting each other. We got to unite and fight against this system and bring that whole system down so that people can be liberated, not only here but all around the world.
It's just, you know, before we can start talking about police brutality, and what they do unto us, we got to stop killing each other. That's the bottom line. I do security for a lot of clubs in Atlanta, and I watch people shoot each other at least once or twice a week. You know what I'm saying? I watch people when they come into the clubs, they already hate each other before they even know who they is. See what I'm saying? And that's not cool, y'all. You know, we got all these different sects coming out, Bloods, Crips, and everything else. They not even warring against each other no more. They warring inside their own sect. Now, people used to have problems with the gangs. You know what I'm saying? But the gangs is the only thing in the streets that got unity. You know, the people in the gang, they listen to their OGs. You know, so you can't say that our kids don't mind. You know, you can't say that they just a lost cause. But what we got to do is stop killing each other. Because if we don't take ourselves serious, then the police not gonna take us serious. You know, we killing each other, so they feel like they can kill us too, because don't nobody care. As soon as we start standing up and taking care of each other, then people will start respecting us. And that's all I'm gonna say.
I just want to give praises to Allah, to the Prophet, Nabi Ali, to the Prophet Muhammad, to the forerunner Marcus Garvey. I want to give honors to the Growth and Development Brothers, give honors to the Moles. I want to give honors to the Muslims, to the Bloods, to the Crips. I want to give honors to the Black Panthers and everyone else that's out here. It's truly, truly a divine measure for us to be out here, really standing in the grips of tragedies that have been bestowed on us for over 400 years. It's time now for us to stand together, you know, stop all this killing, stop all this backbiting and gossip. We must have unity in the community. Without it, we have nothing. You know, it is important for us to live upright, independent, and fearless. Dealing with our children, our wives, it's time for us to look at ourselves for truly who we are. We must know who we are. You know, stop walking past one another with our head down and can't even speak. Can't trust one another in our own community. Some of us don't even know who our next door neighbor is. We got to change all that up now. It's time for us to get started back to knowing who we are, to get back to the 60s, get back to that old time religion, get back to that old time power that we used to have. Stand upright, look people in the eye and be honest. Tell someone just who we are and how we feel. It's time that time for that scaredness for men. I'm speaking to the men. For those men, it's time for us to act like men. You know, time to pull our pants up and put the guns down. You see?
This is the type of demonstration that we need to stand on and march on. Stand on our squares, be upright, independent, and fearless. Say what you mean what you say.
What's up? What's up?
Truth will knock the hell out of falsehood.
Yes, sir.
Coming out here, man, we brought peace together today, man. Let's keep going, bro. Let's not make today just one day, bro. Let's keep going, bro. I got a brother, I want him to say something. He's trying to act like he don't see me back there. Come on. You know, you want the brother to start all this, man. Come on.
I don't say too much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, we sit down and talk about this every night, KK. You know that, bro. Can you say something too, bro, man?
Well, anyway, on behalf of Growth Development, once again, I appreciate all y'all brothers coming together. You know, this is a beautiful thing here. You know, I like to see this. You know, we ain't no arguments, no fights. You know, we're trying to uplift our community. You know, this is what it's supposed to be about. You know, that's exactly what we about. You know, so man, just join us and let's keep this going.
Yes, sir. Right on.
Let's be men.
Yes, sir.
Brothers that stand up for their communities. Better, you know, always try to better yourself.
Yes, sir.
Every day, you know. Like you said, you walk past a brother, speak to him. It ain't gonna hurt to speak to him.
Yes, sir.
You know? Sister, you know, she see us walking down the street, she shouldn't try to cross the street.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They should be glad to see us.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying like that one of my brothers around me, you know? Instead of clenching their purse and what's going on, you know? So, hey, let's be better men, you know? Better community leaders, you know? When you see the young brother doing something wrong, don't be scared to correct him. You know, and you see a man correcting your son and he wrong, yeah, that's right. Yeah, get on it. You know, don't like, man, hey, what you saying to my son? No, you know, hey, we got to work together. You know, more unity. It's gonna take us to better our communities. We can't depend on them. They shooting us down and choking us out. You know, so hey, let's just keep this going, y'all.
Yes, sir.
About last month or so, really trying to get me to come out here to speak. I got a lot of tragedy going on in my family right now. You know, with my wife and everything, that I really don't be too focused. You know, my wife at home dying from cancer. So it's hard for me to get out. But on my word to the brothers, I came out here today, not with intentions to speak, but with the intentions to show my loyalty to something that we said that we was gonna bring together. I am one of the heads of the Bloods. I'm from California. I've been a Blood for 33 years. Most of the brothers already touched on everything we had to speak about. Brothers spoke about the Thug Code. I'm the original writer of the Thug Code. I'm the one who wrote it. That same code that y'all live by, I'm the one who passed that to my little brother Tupac Shakur. You understand? And like the brother said, it was so easy to start a movement. I started a movement with a word. I'm in prison, and we come with a word. Me and Dr. Matula Shakur said, we gonna start the thug life. I passed that code down to my little brother, and he ran with it. Most of y'all live by that code for years. When you said, Pac said in an interview that he made a mistake when he passed that code down because that's what you live by, well, that was the biggest mistake we ever wrote. You understand? That was a mistake that set us back another 100 years. Because what we end up doing, I gave my young brothers the opportunity to get out in the streets and call our sister bitches and hoes. I gave you the opportunity to get out in the street and say you want to be a thug and kill another black man. Like it was so simple. And y'all done lived by that code for over 20-some years now. Like the brother said, it's time to start a new movement. That's why I'm here with my brothers from Growth and Development, the Moles, Islam, Crips out here. I'm here with all y'all. I support all of this. The brothers done spoke on everything, man. The brothers spoke on the Contra War and everything. True victim of it. I'm one of the ones from California, me, Freeway Rick and all us, that they had locked up for that. Yeah. When the brother said that George Bush put them drugs in our hands, him, Ronald Reagan and them, They targeted us personally. You got Compton right here, you got Inglewood right here, you got South Central right here, you got San Diego right here, you got these, you got Rick Ross that control this part of South Central, you got Pat that control this part of the Nickerson Gardens, you got the Stones that control this part of Skyline. Reagan told them, put them drugs in their hands. And when I say he said our names personally, he said our names. We got documents. I've done 15 years in the feds behind all of this. It was a waste. A waste. Because what we didn't know, see, they want to sit and say that the gang violence in California was over colors. That's not what it was about.
No, sir.
It was about us killing each other over drug spots to pay the government to help them support a war over in Contra. They used us as pawns. That's right. As pawns. They say, boy, them some token Negroes, so let me continue to use them as tokens. I'm gonna turn them against each other. I'm gonna turn them against each other in a different way. And we allowed it to happen. I allowed it to happen, man. And that's why I'm here today, to make a change with that thug life. You understand? We're gonna make a change as far as saying we men.
Yes, sir.
Like the brother said,
yes, sir.
what Black Lives do, them kids didn't say nothing wrong.
Yes, sir.
But why it gotta be a tragedy to occur for us to step up as black men? You understand? I was just telling my little homeboys when we was on our way up here, I was listening to a thing on the news. And do you know they looking at it, they saying within the next 20, 30 years, blacks is gonna be distinct, like y'all was saying, dinosaurs, we gonna be dinosaurs. And then they gave the reasons why. Black men in prison. Like the brother said, we the number, look it up.
Talk
it ain't
about
just
it.
in
Yeah.
Georgia,
Talk
it's
about
in
it.
every state it is. We the leading group of people that's incarcerated. That's one of the reasons they gave. The second reason they gave is black men being gay and black women being lesbians. Where's you gonna reproduce it? It's impossible. And the main reason they gave is because us killing each other.
Talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no love.
If we continue to kill each other, yet, why give them that? It might not even be 20 years.
Yeah.
You understand? But it all can change. Everything changes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A lot of people scared of change because it eliminates a lot of things. But if you stand together as blacks, as people, you can make a big change in life. We all came from the original Black Panthers. My godfather, Eddie Powell, is one of the original Black Panthers. I was taught by Geronimo Pratt, all of them. I was raised by them. That's right. Like this. I know the truth. But just like a lot of my other brothers, I got away from the truth.